Hello and welcome to Slayerfest 98. I'm Kimberly Ann Southwick.
I'm Ian Carlos Crawford.
And I may this meat I give unto thee, Schultz. And we are here talking Angel Season 4, Episode 20, Sacrifice.
Well, we're
Yeah.
here.
We're
We
here.
are. There's been a couple people who wanted to come on for the Jasmine arc because they did like it. I was kind of hoping I would be a little bit more sold on it, and I have not been. This episode especially feels like so much of after Faith leaves feels like we're circling the drain. Like, I think I've said this in every recording, but like, we talk a lot about how we miss longer seasons of TV, right? How and Buffy is a really good example of making such good use of 22 episodes. Angel, however, is an example of not making great use of 22 episode seasons. Cause a lot of this episode, like Jasmine, this is the Jasmine arc and she is barely in this episode. And we get a weird side quest that doesn't matter. And it's so dark, I can barely tell the people apart.
I will say it does feel like we're getting close to the end of the season, though. Like it's got that sort of energy.
Yeah.
That was maybe one of the main pluses of the episode was that.
Yeah, I think I understand what they were trying to do, and they're trying to combine a bunch of horror tropes, like the hive mind and the people who have been resistant to it, and the helpful but creepy monster. There's a lot of things that they threw into this episode, and it kind of felt like they had a vision board for the season, and they just grabbed all the things that they hadn't done yet and threw them together for this. And so it feels a bit messy overall. It does have some nice moments. And, we'll talk about those as we get to them.
Moments.
Yes, moments. Unfortunately, as an episode, it feels very disjointed, very, like you said, kind of circling the drain. And that's unfortunate because I just said unfortunate so many times, but it is unfortunate because you have some great actors like Gina Torres,
right,
who, like you said, are not getting to do as much as they should be.
Yeah. And I made your point. We talked about this last episode too. It's weird. Angel theoretically could have leaned into horror tropes more and they don't as much, but they really are with this. And there's a version of it that really works, right?
Yeah.
It's not this, however.
No.
Maybe one of the things too about the hive mind and why it doesn't work for me personally, it might be because everything gets too big too quickly for our little ragtag team adventures to, from my perspective, successfully and actually pull off ending it.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's either going to be too big for them to handle at all, or I'm already am I going to be satisfied if they do solve this, or am I just going to feel like it was they sort of cheated, like there was some sort of writing cheat, not the characters cheating.
Yeah.
Because it's oh, now she's taken over the city of oh, now she's taken over the state, and it's okay, she's too big to fail.
Yeah.
And also, this is happening at the same time as the final battle of Sunnydale, yet no one there is affected by it. It's not really great world building continuity. They should have kept it to just the Los Angeles metro area and made it so, she has to do whatever her goal is here before her power can expand. I think that would have made a little more sense.
Yeah, it's the world building a lot for me that just loses me because I'm wait, how are people getting brainwashed and how are people not brainwashed? Why are the people underground not brainwashed? You have to just simply what are the rules here?
Right.
And why did the blood not affect Connor? I don't know. There's just they're not telling us the rules, even if there are rules.
Well, and that's the problem is they do break their own rules because at first it's the blood, and then you see Jasmine and she is the maggot faced gross monster, and that pulls you out. But then even by the end of last episode, they bring everyone in a room and just put the blood on them, and Jasmine isn't there, and it breaks them. So the end of last episode, which this one picks up with, is Gunn and Wes and Lorne were brought into that room to get like the blood put on them so the spell would be broken, but everyone else had to do
Yeah.
that and
Mm,
see her.
okay. And then
And
Connor has the blood and sees her and nothing.
right,
Because we find out in the next episode that he has always seen her in her true form because she's technically part Connor.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of what I assumed, but I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
You know, like especially if you're already breaking rules.
Also, like they do say that like you have to see her because that's at first what they're saying is why it's only LA. But then this episode does fully blow that out of the water because it's like, well, the governor called, the entire state is mine. And it's like, wait a minute.
And they don't have Zoom back then.
Yeah. I really like that it's like looks like an old timey telephone. Like not even from our generations, like our like grandparents' generation telephone that she's like, hello, governor. And Connor is so one note that of course he's the one that ruins it all.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
The quiet moment that he has with Jasmine, which is not my favorite scene in the episode, he's really good at those quiet moments. Like when she heals him.
Yeah.
And then later when she's like, I want to take your pain, give it to me. He's great. He's great in those moments.
Yeah.
No, but when he's trying to be like badass, I'm going to hunt down my dad, Connor. It's like, dude, your performance here is just not coming from the right place.
And it's a one note in those scenes.
Yeah.
Like it is the same note over and over and over again. I also was wondering, so we do like a little bit of Lady Macbeth with Angel in his hands where like he beats up Connor and then he's like looking at his blood, but it kind of
damn spot.
Yeah. Like I Kim, you are the PhD lit professor here. What do you think of, because like they kind of do that and then they just drop it. Like the blood is off his hands and we kind of just are like, all right, now we're done with that.
I mean, he does sort of get to be like turn into like sort of like emotions don't matter Angel after that. So that's the continuity there, even though he drops the individual thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe we should start at the beginning though.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. So they're in the hotel. They're in the Hyperion Hotel. It's to be continued from like the previous episode. It seems like, right? Like they're.
Yeah.
I didn't get any last time on Angel kind of jumped right to there, so right before the credits, and then Jasmine's and her like Jazzmaniacs, as they are called on the internet.
I kind of like that term.
Yeah, I was reading the preview or the previous episode summary. I was like, okay, Jazzmaniacs. Anyway, they're like coming down the hall, and the gang's gone. Angel's gonna sacrifice himself, and he has like these things he says, like someone's got to live to tell the truth, you know. And then everyone else goes down the fire escape. Then he beats the crap out of Connor.
Like really beats the crap out of him.
He really beats the crap out of him and then throws him off the fire escape onto the hood of the car.
And everyone else is very disturbed that he's just like, gun it, you know, like, but they drive away.
Because for a second I was like, that seems a lot. And then I was like, oh, he did that because he wants to bring him with him. But no, he just did that to do it. I mean, I get it. Connor's the worst, but like, that is your son.
Anytime people complain about Dawn, I'm like, but Connor.
Give me a break. Dawn, her writing, at least, like the writing in when she's being bratty is like good. In the sense of what they're going for. This, like with Connor, it's just like, we're doing the same exact scene again.
I wrote down Imhotep because it just reminded me of the Mummy, the way all of these people are acting. You know, it's not a Borg style hive mind. It's not, despite the fact that they reference pod people, it's not actually an invasion of the body snatchers type thing. It really is more like in the Mummy, where you have this one person who is extremely powerful and has put a bunch of people under her spell and is controlling them that way. And it just, like a lot of things, it just doesn't work quite well. It's kind of cute when she's throwing her voice around to other people. It's kind of creepy, but overall, the like mob that's supposed to be peaceful and loving, just trying to kill
Right.
our
It doesn't
group.
quite work. Yeah.
No.
I mean,
And-
I think it's supposed to kind of feel that way, though. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of the
Okay.
point. Like, it's like peace and love. And then, like, instead, they're not doing peace and love.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
we know, and we know that she's not who she says she is in a way.
Mhm.
She is, but she's not, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
I liked, I mean, of course, there's a billion parallels we can make to a billion different contemporary and past political things, right?
We did last episode.
Yeah, and I liked Lauren in the car when he was like starts going like ranting about media bias. Like,
Mhm.
if you are to believe the radio, right? And then like goes on about that, which I thought was amusing.
Yeah.
And it's nice that they're like, no, look, we're drawing the line for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And also, like, to what we were saying earlier, it almost feels like it would be easier for Jasmine in 2026 than it would have been back then, because the internet, I mean, like you
Yeah.
said, we didn't have Zoom back then.
Right.
The internet was still like early days internet, not fully the way it is now. Like,
No, Jasmine would absolutely have a team
Yeah.
helping her become an influencer.
Mhm.
And that's how she would be taking over things.
Yeah.
That would actually be interesting.
it would, yes.
Kind of surprised no one's made that movie.
Yeah, honestly. And like, I kept thinking that. I was like, she would have a YouTube channel. She would have like,
Mhm.
her like stacked Instagram account of constant posting of like her talking about love and light. I say this, I've repeated myself so many times, but the thing I hate about her, she speaks like one of those wellness influencers
Mhm.
who are like not even one of the like one of the ones that are so completely full of shit. Like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
doesn't have an ounce of well meaning to them, but is speaking like they do.
And also can't edit their videos well.
Yes.
It would have been a much more fun arc, minus the whole Cordy giving birth to a full form adult thing, and by Kim, anyway, minus all the parts we don't like about it with her and Connor. But I don't know, like what y'all are describing, like if they would have like had her build up be a lot more slow,
Yes.
and like I
Mhm.
feel like they could have had fun with it, but instead we get what we get.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the talk around the season with the writers is like most of it stayed what it was supposed to be, but it was supposed to be Cordelia versus Angel at the end, which like that's not uncommon in the Buffyverse, right? We got Buffy versus Willow, we got Buffy versus Angel. So like sure, as long as I would have been more okay with that, because that tracks a little bit more with like, oh, okay, we find out she's in cahoots with the beast. We find out that she's the
Mhm.
one trying to get his soul. So like, and I get like, not even like asshole wise, like actor wise, she was pregnant, so she probably could not have done a like fight scene with Angel, right? So we do have to change it up a little bit, but just Jasmine does not match anything what we were building up to. Jasmine, I don't buy anytime they're like, oh, this was the plan all along. Because in last episode they mentioned even like Gunn and Wesley meeting, that like Wesley becoming part of the team, like all of that was to lead up to this, and like that just is like very poor retroactive connectivity.
It sounds like our government right now talking about things that they do and being like,
Mhm.
this was the plan all along.
all along.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I always wanted to punch myself in the nuts. That's what I planned to do. Like, it's just, yeah. And so I almost wish they didn't try to do that. I almost wish it was like, whoop, this like weird god, like deity came from a dimension. That's why, like, instead of pretending this is what we were always building up to, because it just does not match the
Yeah.
apocalyptic vibes.
I feel okay, so I
Mhm.
feel like what they're trying to do, specifically in the way that Angel and the gang, and this just came to me by the way, specifically in the way that they refer to themselves as the Free Will Gang,
Yeah.
when they're at the gas station, which is coming up in pretty much next-ish.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In my notes, there's some other little things that happen where Jasmine absorbs people's energy and she turns green, and
I love that they take off their clothes, but
Yeah.
not their underwear.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so she can absorb bras, panties, and boxer shorts, but
She's
not
the-
like jeans and a
Not
t-shirt.
jeans. Don't be crazy, May.
So they're the Free Will Gang versus this fate that's been planned all along, right? So it's like
Yeah.
fate versus free will. Like, aha, I see what
Yeah.
we're doing here, but it just like we just don't buy it.
Mhm.
We don't buy that the fate part
Mm-mm.
because it's
No.
being disrupted by the Free Will Gang anyway. Free will wins.
Yeah, and like May, you mentioned this. I do a little bit like the Jasmine's voice at the gas station coming through. Like,
Mm.
I do like when the kid rolls down the window to be
Mhm.
like, well, actually, and it's her voice. That, like,
And
those,
and Gunn being like, well, that was creepy because like
yeah.
I like that someone else says it so I don't have to, you know.
Hmm. That's where we get the like Buffyverse sense of humor that is largely missing or not very effective in this episode because most of the other jokes don't land. There is one later that I wrote down the quote that I think works really well, but yeah, most of this episode, it's just like there's either no humor or humor that just does not land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Angel's, and I've said this a lot, I do think why sometimes people will say Angel's more adult is because it, one, isn't mostly women, and two, takes itself seriously. But like, I don't think that makes it more adult. I think that makes it more bland.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that even mean, takes itself seriously? Like I'm glad you put it in quotation marks because I'm like,
Yeah. It's like,
isn't funny?
right?
Like
Yes.
that's
Like,
not necessarily good writing.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that people say it takes itself seriously, but actually that's just bland writing without
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
jokes.
totally. So after the gas station, they go to the sewers. We have a little moment where he looks at his hands that we already talked about. And that's kind of when they're all like, but what about Cordy? And Angel's like, fuck Cordy.
Yeah.
And then we forget about her forever, apparently. Um,
Yes.
and no one mentions her after Big Boss Man is like, hide those feelings.
Even Jasmine hides her body, and so we just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is the very next scene, I think, which
yeah.
helps. We were reminded that Connor hates magic after we
Mm-hmm.
flip from the sewers back to the Hyperion, and then Jasmine kind of like weirdly in this weird tone calls Cordy her mother. And
Yeah.
then she does it again with Connor at the end, calling him her
Yeah.
father. It's like she's like mocking them the way that she says it. I don't
She
know.
says, I want everything you are, Connor, father.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's so creepy.
I'm like, because we sounded like you were being sexual, but then you were like, daddy, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
in a way that was trying to act. I don't know. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
it's like she's trying to say daddy like a child, but it comes off as daddy like he's her dom or something,
Yeah,
even though
exactly.
she's
Yes.
clearly
100%.
his dom.
Yes.
It's weird.
Yeah. So weird.
The line that I did write down is when they first run into the sewer gang and Angel's like, I don't like it when people point sharp. Give me that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was one of the other humorous moments for me.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is nice because I think it comes after or like right, like that kind of happens right when all the gang is in the sewer after the scene. We really flip back and forth pretty quickly between the sewer and
Yeah.
the hotel in this episode. But they're in
Yeah.
the sewer and everyone's like reminiscing about how good it felt to be under Jasmine's control and how
Ugh.
they're describing just the different ways their like feelings and bodies were. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice
It's
to have
very
to get like
much
out of that.
it's very much like, oh, I was in a cult and I know I was in a cult and brainwashed and it was horrible, but it also felt nice while I was in it.
Yeah.
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 What do you two think of that? Because we talked about that last episode. I said I hate that. I don't like that plot point only because we've known these heroes for so long at this point that it just doesn't track for me that they would be like, I miss it. It was so like it just feels like they would be like, that was awful being in a trance, made to
Yeah.
believe it was
It
good.
It feels
it
very, go ahead, May, sorry.
I would think they would feel violated more than
Right?
anything
Yeah.
because they've been in situations where they've lost control of
Yes.
themselves. They've been in situations where they're under someone else's control. And the response to that is almost always a feeling of violation.
Understandably so. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is. But here, because of the specific type of emotional hold that Jasmine had over them, of that feeling of warmth and
Yeah.
love, they miss it because it was simple. And I agree, like, it feels like something that they would normally wrestle with internally and then eventually talk about a few episodes down
Yes.
the line after they have defeated Jasmine.
Yes.
And it feels like the writers were trying to speed up this process. And like a lot of things in this episode, it comes off sloppy and it doesn't land.
Yeah.
All right, two things. One, when Buffy got back from literally being in heaven
Mhm.
and is like, why did you bring me back to this hellscape? Like literally like
Yeah.
the hellmouth when I was in heaven. I feel like they're kind of going for that, but it just falls miserably flat. One. Two, when people thought, when people believed, and y'all may be some of those people, that Stranger Things didn't end happily ever after, and
Oh, I didn't watch the last season.
spoiler alert, Stranger Things.
Oh, I don't fucking care.
Anyway, and some people were like, well, actually, they're all still in Vecna's head. And I was like, so what? Who cares if they're happy? It kind of makes me feel like that. Like, they could have played that up, like, well, they could have talked about, like, well, it was kind of fun to, like, not have to worry about anything and, like, have everything, like, just feel fine and good. But they just made, like, oh, I felt fuzzy inside. Like, I don't know. Like, they could have made it, like, all our problems were gone. And we've got a lot of problems. And these are important problems that we deal with. And our jobs are serious. We are monster hunters. But instead, it was like the warm and fuzzies. So
Yeah, I think you both are touching upon why it bothers me. Because if they said, wow, it did feel that way, that was a like, I think if they like acknowledge, sure, that's how it made us feel, but they also, because these are emotionally intelligent people, right? Like,
yeah.
I feel like they would be able to state both. Like, when we were under the trance, that made our brains buzz. It felt like we were high. It was, but like now I feel violated because now I feel this like weird emptiness that I know was fake. I know that wasn't actual happiness. Like, that's how it feels like they should be vocalizing it rather than just like, wow, I miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, they're just so I don't know, it's very strange how little they do effectively in this episode. And that's a fucking bummer. This is the third to last episode of this season. We should be ramping up. And instead, it feels like we're stagnating.
Yeah. Yes, and because
until the very end, I think this does feel like we're almost there. We've got some important knots that are being like put together to be tied.
I also think they should have done more with the crew they stumble upon in the sewer. If we were going to do them at all, there should have been a little bit more with them because it's so dark. I can barely make out faces until the little boy's like out in the daylight. I kept forgetting. While watching it, I'd be like, wait a minute, why aren't they under her thrall? But it was because they've been there since
the sun was
down.
Yeah, Gun's old acquaintance, white girl with dreads, couple other people.
Was that her child or no?
No,
it's kind of random people who, like a ragtag sort of like lost boys situation in the sewers.
And like, it just felt weird because it's like, well, what are we doing with these cats? And we do nothing with those cats, right? Like, we don't.
Right.
It's nothing.
One of them happens to know Gun.
Yeah.
And some of them are children. Or they're all children, or some of them don't look like children. I was confused.
Yes, that bothered me because Fred says, they're just kids. And I'm like, one of them is a kid. The rest of them look the same age as all of y'all do. Like,
yeah, I was confused.
It's not unlike, and this is so stupid, but it always bothers me in Civil War, the Marvel movie. Captain America says the rest of their crew are just kids, and I'm like, these actors are all the same age. You can say Spider-Man is a kid, but not like Scarlet Witch.
Well, it's more about that Captain America is literally older than all of them because he was in a deep freeze.
Right. But it's just always, I'm like, the line doesn't land because it's like, they're all the same age. And also they're not kids, but like, whatever. And I feel like especially Buffy and Angel often sometimes do that because they're teen actors usually, like, in the canon of the show, Cordelia's 21, right? Like she's just barely out of being a teenager.
Yeah, no, Cordelia's fucking 30.
Yes, like that woman is an adult. That is not.
Yeah. Not only like charisma, but also the character feels like a 30-year-old woman.
I mean, she would have been 19 when she set up Angel Investigations and like set up it as an LLC. I barely know how to do that now at 43.
In the show's defense, I feel like adults became adults more quickly.
Oh yeah, in the 90s. Past. Yeah, that's true.
And so like the millennials, we like ruined that. We didn't become adults till our 30s.
We didn't ruin that.
Yeah.
That was ruined for us.
Yes. I agree. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to be a fucking adult. Being an adult sucks.
I am 43 and I'm like, what is an adult? I don't know. Like, Kim, you're an adult to me. I don't
Because I
know.
had a child. That's the only thing that made me feel like an adult because there is a
Mhm.
literal child I am responsible for. But at
Mhm.
no other point in my life did I ever feel like an adult until I had a child. So
Fair, fair. I don't know. I mean, you've always been like you've had full-time jobs. You've like hold them down, unlike me.
I had a full-time job at a bookstore.
Yeah, but still. Anyway, so we,
Were you trying to
God,
pay me a compliment? I didn't say thank you. Thank you.
fuck
I
off.
love you. I
I love,
appreciate
I
you.
love you too.
So we are in the sewer and they get in the hole and Angel says the line, but then we flip very quickly back and Cordy has been disappeared.
Right.
Mhm.
And Jasmine says it's because her blood was a danger, which makes me feel like she killed her. I don't know if we're supposed to think that, but
It does sound like that, but
right, like it does seem.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know that's not necessarily what happens.
I
Question
think
mark?
she also knows if she actually killed Cordy, she would lose Connor.
Yes, because I do
Yeah,
think that because like this is the
he's
first time.
clearly upset.
Yes,
He's
he's
Mhm.
upset that
like,
she's gone. Hmm.
and he's like a little bit questioning Jasmine as to where she moved his mommy, wife, girlfriend, baby
Hmm.
mama. So like, blah. I know. So many things that actually like sound like a joke, but all apply. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
um,
So they go
yeah,
back to the sewer,
right. We go back to the
to the
sewer.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle hideout that they've got down there.
Right.
No
And
pizza though.
I know I would some pizza would be nice. It like it's so funny because especially in Angel, they do the sewers a lot, right? Like especially season 1, that's how we got around. Always their sewer sets are always so big and they always look too clean. Like
Yeah.
I see that it's like a dirt floor and that's supposed to be look it's dirty, but like also it should smell like sewage and shit and like gross
Lauren's in
bugs.
That's
there making some comments, though. He's reminding us that it's disgusting, even if we can't see it.
Yeah.
Trying his best to be a comedy.
mhm.
We could have done more with Lauren in the sewer too. Like we could have like upped that a little.
I think that would have helped with like the
Yeah.
bleakness and the blandness.
I
Mhm.
think they often didn't know what to do with Lauren
Yeah.
because he honestly would have worked perfect on Buffy, I think. Like his like the tone of his character almost fits more with like a Buffy-esque character where it's like
Mhm.
has horns, he looks like he could be a devil, but he's like this
Yeah.
sweet little, just wants a martini, and
Oh
has
my God, he and Clem would end up having like the best platonic gay friendship.
yes.
And it'd be so cute. And Clem would like have a little crush on Lauren, but be too shy about it. And, he would do that silent pining thing.
And Anya would hang out with them all the time.
Oh my God, yes.
She'd
Oh,
have a
Lauren,
great
we
time.
wish a better future for you
I
than the one
know.
before. So then,
So,
as Fred points out, they're professional monster
right,
trackers, killers, and they just happen to run into people that have a monster problem. And so
Hmm.
we're finally introduced to the B plot about halfway through the episode. Is that what's going
I
on here?
guess.
Yeah, Jeff Ricketts doing his best Mark Metcalf. He like sounds a little bit like the
He
master.
does.
And it's very different than Jeff Ricketts' character Weatherby, who's one of the Watchers Council like bounty
Waterworks,
hunters.
yeah.
Yeah, who tries to capture Faith. That was previous season of Buffy. That was back on season 4. But yeah, he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
And this character I think is interesting.
Yes.
But again, it's just like, okay, we have, like I said, the helpful but kind of scary monster in the episode. The vampire that he's keeping alive in his like
Flesh
web.
magic.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But Wesley gets a lot of information out of this guy, and by this guy I mean the monster. And it's kind of fascinating because this is like true best Wesley, where
Yeah.
he is really using his brain to solve a problem. He doesn't attack the monster. He doesn't threaten him. He is literally just having a conversation with him because he knows that there is valuable information here.
Yeah.
And that's one of the effective parts of the episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
totally.
I agree. And
think
I
we
actually
get-
Oh, go ahead, Kim.
Mm-mm.
And I actually think the monster's design is like oddly intricate and well done considering it's like a one-off monster. Like, it looks like, and like you said, he's doing his best. He does sound like the master, but like, we put thought into how this monster speaks, his speech pattern. Like, we gave it some thought, and I'm like, but it's so weird that it's like we gave it some thought and then doesn't matter because it really doesn't.
Yeah, I like how we get this is probably one of the strengths of the episode that we get two of the most important and effective scenes like back to back. Because we're into it at this point. Like we can see where this is going, but not in a way where we're like, oh, I knew that was coming. Just with Wes like getting the information. And then we also get Jasmine taking Connor's pain away about the same time when she's like digs her nails into his hand, and then she's got the marks on her hand, and that's when she weirdly calls him father.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's one of they have this really good, like, quieter moment that Mae was talking about earlier. And we understand, at least then, that Connor has not been affected by Cordy's blood. We're pretty sure the whole time, right? Because I was thinking maybe like, oh, it just hasn't set in yet or something. But at that point, it's like, oh no, like she's got him, like, for sure.
Yeah.
And then we know for sure at the end because he's got her voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I also wrote down, Matthew, the kid of the group who like wanders up to the surface. Gunn knocks him out with a punch. He and Fred have a couple okay moments, but it's also like, are we doing this again?
Right?
Are we really doing this again? And yeah, they bring him back down. Then, of course, he has Jasmine's voice, which like infects all of the other Sewer Dweller people who've
already kind of turned on them because they find out Angel's a vampire at one point.
Yeah.
We cut to Lauren and he says, and that's why when we use words like ugly ass and beastie, we do more harm than good.
Don't worry, I'll bring that up.
What do we think about the knocking out the kid thing? I mean,
I think it's fucking hilarious.
I do too, and I get why Fred is like, ooh, we just hit a kid, but it's like, come on, there are extenuating circumstances here, and he is actually trying to save the child by knocking him out.
I think it's got to be one or the other. I don't think Fred can be as upset about it for it to work, because then you feel bad if you think it's funny. And she's very upset. And when they get back to the sewer, they're like, what happened to him? And Fred's like, well, and she's about to explain it. And Gunn's like, absolutely not. Like, we don't have time for this, And so I think like that, it just makes me not know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
It seemed like they needed to get him back down there, but also maybe knocking him out in that way was a bad choice.
I don't know.
There's a lot of bad choices going on here.
There's just so many. And like, I get why I don't know. I get it. Like, I always feel, like I say with Yellow Jackets, I said this to my students the other day, how like sometimes there are extenuating circumstances that make you feel differently about something. And I literally said, who here has watched Yellow Jackets? Which, Tim, it's a show about, it's the show I always say you would like, but it would gross you out too much. It's about like a girls' soccer team that gets stranded in the wilderness and they become cannibals. And two of my students who are on the softball team laughed because I said, if I'm in that situation and my friends and I'm dead and my friends have nothing to eat, there's no moral qualms of eating me. Let everyone know
me.
I want to be useful. So eat my arms, eat my legs, do whatever. I don't have any issue with that because these are extenuating circumstances where like the normal doesn't quite go, right? Like,
again,
I would require that my friends eat me starting with my ass, personally.
I always say that to Zach. I'm like, you would have to eat my butt though. Kim, you were gonna say.
Again, though, I have written down Gunn punches kid, all caps, underlines, and Fred is all caps alarmed. And so it's like we can't have it both ways. I agree that's extenuating circumstances, but like she just described herself as a professional monster hunter.
Right.
And she is alarmed, so therefore I am alarmed.
Right. That's fair. Yeah. So yes, then they bring him back to the hideout. Or wait, I guess right, because everything's happening at the pacing is so weird.
Yeah.
So right after that, they do go back to the hideout, and he's been infected, and then everyone's infected.
But also
Ron, and then Connor.
But also
Angel.
Yeah, and Angel kills the monster and gets his glowing blue orb.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right before the outside scene, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So Angel comes in just as the clicky monster is the most annoyed with Wesley.
Right.
And is
Mhm.
about to be like, you are now part of my flesh spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Angel Ex Machina.
Yeah. Also, I was wondering about that vampire because he did not kill that vampire, right? It was still like,
Right, he's still there to this day.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
someone should have at least staked that vampire.
And that actor is one of those like, oh, that guy who's
Yeah.
been in one episode of everything.
So the child then starts talking to like Jasmine. Then they all have to run. They end up running into the exact same tunnel where Angel and Wes are, where the monster's hideout was.
Mhm. Then
Sure.
Connor shows up with the National Guard.
And talking to like Jasmine.
Do we
Wesley.
know whether or not before the demon dies? Because the demon doesn't get killed until after they're like Gunn and the army are like running through the sewer tunnels or whatever. He's like still saying the spell, like, devour this meat I give unto thee. Like, is it to our understanding that he never gets to finish the spell? Or we don't know either way? Because that glowy ball kind of appears after Angel kills him. But I don't know where he like gets it from.
I don't either. I think again it's a little
Okay.
jumbled, but
Yeah.
yeah, basically like a portal opens that Angel jumps through to the monster dimension.
With the glowy ball that Wes
Yes.
throws him and that he catches because they're also ball players.
Yeah, and I wrote down for the very end, PS2 cutscene ass CGI. It looks so
bad.
It
So
looks
bad.
so bad. You could have done a matte painting and you could have had Angel just standing in front of it. We didn't need to see a bunch of the monsters. It's just so disappointing.
And it's so bright. Like, they make everything so fucking dark on the show. That dimension should have been dark so it didn't look nearly as bad.
Yeah.
It is so bright, so it makes it look worse. And they do like a Silent Hill fog, and it just does not work. And also,
No.
I have no memory, and I'm gonna watch the episode after this. I have one more recording. I do not remember this demon dimension actually mattering or them staying there long.
I'm pretty sure Angel maybe just shows back up and he knows Jasmine's true name or something. I don't remember
We
him
didn't even
spending a lot
mention
of
that
time
part.
there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's what the information that Wes gets.
Yeah, he finds out that the only way to defeat Jasmine is with her true name because it's like word magic, and that's what Wes is trying to get out of the monster, but Angel then has to go to this dimension
Does
to
Angel even
actually
know he's
discover
looking
it.
for her true name? Did they get time to talk about that?
Hopefully Wes told him. Maybe it happened off screen. That's the kind of exposition that is actually important to show.
Yeah, because like Angel should know what he's doing.
Okay, so importantly, one of my favorite parts of the episode is this end right before he jumps through the portal, because Angel specifically says someone that knows the truth, or somebody says back to him, someone that knows the truth has to live through this. And that's the exact thing he said when he was like, I will fight off the Jasmaniacs and y'all just get away. And then earlier in the episode, they're like, he seems a bit heartless lately. And he's like, hearts get in the way. And they then feed that back to him also. Because he's like, but I can't. I need to help you guys fight this army. And they're like, hearts get in the way. And that's the only, because it seems like he's going to stay with them.
Right.
But then one of them says that and he's like, okay, yeah. And then he does go through because he realized both of those things that he had said to them that have been said back to him are true.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good writing.
Yeah. Another small effective part of the episode. That kind of like bookending.
Yeah. And so we end with them like, well, right before that, they're rushing into battle, right?
Yeah, I do really like that as all of these Jasmaniacs are getting attacked by our gang, we're seeing injuries appear on Jasmine and then heal. And she's doing this amazing evil laugh. And like Gina Torres is gorgeous. You know, the writing for her is inconsistent, but she looks like a goddess.
Yeah.
And like, you know, honestly, if I saw her, I'd be like, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. and not just because I'm a sub, but like that woman is stunning.
Yeah. And like the outfits they put her in are not that great. They're so weirdly like of the time
Like new
H&M.
agey.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
And
like mild new age.
yes, but she still looks great, which is saying a lot to be like in these like very ugly
Yeah.
early aughts. All right, well, no, we're at the end because sure, fine. My only trivia was that the actor who plays the monster is the Watcher dude in this year's Girl Who Are You and Sanctuary, Angel season 1. Favorite outfit? I cheated here. I put the look of the monster because it was a cool look. They've been wearing these outfits for 3 episodes. They're gonna wear them for one more. Kim?
I did consider the look of the monster, but I mean, Lorne always looks good, and I feel like I
Yeah.
never pick him, and I liked like the pattern on the collared shirt that he had under his normal
All right.
blazer.
Yeah.
Mae?
I have a couple. Best hair goes to Fred. Her hair looks incredible in
It
this
does, yeah.
episode. Those waves and curls. Worst hair goes to the gas station attendant who has a short mullet with bangs. Absolutely atrocious. And then best outfit overall, in that end scene where Jasmine is doing her amazing evil laugh, that brown dress looks so good. And it like really complements her skin tone.
All right, cool. Favorite scene? Mae?
Lauren giving that lecture on bullying, and especially when he starts to say knowing is half the battle and then gets interrupted. It's so fucking funny. And
Yeah.
that's like, that's a perfect Gen X millennial crossover joke, because I'm sure people who are younger than us have no idea about
Right.
G.I. Joe or any of the cartoons that had PSAs. And yeah, it's very funny. It's very Lorne, and I love it.
Sometimes I think about those and think of how now conservatives would be mad and say they're woke. If cartoons did that when they did all the time when we were little. Anyway, Kim, favorite scene?
I'm gonna cheat and say I just like that it was a frame narrative with like the things that Angel said being said
Okay, all right.
back to him before he jumps through. I was like, ooh, those are things that were said earlier in the episode. So that.
Chekhov's heartless heart gets in the way dialogue. I also put Lauren talking about bullying because that's like the only thing that remotely stuck out, and it's like what, 2 seconds, but whatever. We're counting it. What grade do we give this episode, Kim?
I'm giving it a C plus. I think it's my lowest grade ever.
All right, Mae.
I'm also giving it my lowest grade ever with a D plus.
Wording, but I want to say what I just thought. I'm topping you, Mae.
Yeah, Ian, give me that D plus
with a D.
Oh yeah, top me with that D.
I
am acutely aware that I have not been topped since April 17th, 2023.
God.
In case anyone's wondering.
Yeah, but you have been happy lately, and that's
yes. I have finally rekindled my relationship with my sex drive, but I also would love someone to fuck me.
That's my goal for 2026. Yeah, these episodes are such clunkers. The one before this, I think, is the best of the Jasmine episodes, where Fred's on the run by herself.
Yeah, because it really gives us a lot of time with Fred, which we haven't had in a while. And there's some cool set pieces in that. The one in the bookstore,
yeah,
great. But this episode is just, it's a dud.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you both for joining me. Thank you all for listening. If you like Slayerfest 98, you can listen to us Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. You can watch our video recordings, because all of our recordings are videos now, on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe.
And we're cute.
Yes, and everyone's cute. We got our cute faces out. Everyone subscribe and give us a good rating. It helps get the podcast out there. If you want to support us on Patreon, we're going through every episode of Buffy as it turns 25. We're closing out season 5 coverage, which makes me feel so old. We also cover X-Men the Animated Series, Batman the Animated Series, and any other random thing I am watching. We just started book club. Our first book was Heated Rivalry. We're going to be doing some more. We're just hang out on Zoom and talk about a book we read. And if you want to follow us on social, we're at SlayerFestX98. If you want to follow me, I am at ENXCarlos. Kim, where can everyone find you?
Kim Ann Joe South on most socials that I want to be found on, and KimberlyAnnSouthwick.com for poetry and professory stuff.
And Mae, you and all your things?
You can find me on Blue Sky and Letterboxd at Everson Poe. You can hear me podcasting on Tender Subject and on my main podcast, Pleasers and Punishers. We just announced today, as of this recording, that we have added a third host in Amanda Jane Stern. We're very excited to have her. And our episode on Gaslight, which is her first official co-host episode, comes out tomorrow. And you can find my music by looking for Everson Poe, two separate words, on Ampwall, Bandcamp, and streaming services. My album, Enough is a Myth, is available on vinyl. I still have a bunch of copies left. It's really good. It's based on Hellraiser 2022. Check it out. Maybe buy a copy. Help a poor trans girl. And yeah, you can hear me on Slayerfest.
All right, well, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.